It's easy to feel confident when your kid is the biggest, strongest player on the football pitch. It looks great when they're barging through defenders and scoring goals purely because they're faster and more powerful than everyone else. But as a sports physio, when I see that, I don't see a superstar. I see a one trick pony. I see a player who is exploiting a temporary biological loan that they eventually have to pay back. If your child is getting by on physicality alone, they're not practicing skills. They're simply exploiting being the biggest and strongest. And when the rest of the kids catch up in 3, 4, or 5 years, game days will be much more painful to watch. This video will touch on 7 ways to help your physically dominant kid develop the brain of a smaller player so they can still enjoy and dominate the game when the physical playing field inevitably levels out. Just like the late bloomer, the early developer is living through a biological mismatch. Your kid might be 12 years old with a 15-year-old skeleton, and the 30 kilos weight advantage that comes with it isn't a skill, it's a temporary biological advantage. The problem is that physicality is a loud solution. It drowns out the need for your child to search for an opportunity to pass, dribble, or position themselves better on the pitch. Why go around someone when you can go through them? One strategy is for you to explain to your kid that their current dominance is borrowed time. It's not about being mean, it's about being honest. Tell them that right now, their body is doing the work that their brain should be doing to help them recalibrate, have them play up an age group or two if possible. When they are the average size or even the smallest player on the pitch, they're forced to find different solutions because the barge through option has been taken off the menu. If your kid has long legs and a big engine, a full-sized pitch is a playground for them. They can outrun their mistakes. Take away that option by setting up games in tighter spaces. Hallways, small driveways, or a 3 by 3 meter patch of grass. In these practice settings, their long limbs and top end speed are not the advantages they're used to. They can't build up enough steam to bulldoze the opponent. When you take away their ability to run, you force them to pick up different information from their surroundings. They have to solve the problem with their eyes and their brain. If they can learn to navigate in a phone box with a ball, they'll be vastly more effective when they get back onto a full-sized pitch. Lots of big kids solve 1v1s with a collision. They use their mass to shield the ball or their shoulder to win a tackle. We can help them develop more ways to win the ball by sometimes using a no contact rule. Challenge your kid to play 1v1 with you or someone else for that matter. Where the rule is if you touch the defender, you lose the ball. This forces them to become more of a ghost. It forces them to see the opponent's momentum and find the gaps rather than the collision zones they're used to. When a big player develops the escapability of a smaller player, they can become a high performance anomaly. They learn that a great way to win a physical battle is to not be in one in the first place. As parents, it's easy to cheer for the big plays, the long range goal, or the thumping tackle. But for the dominant kid, those are the easy recipes that they constantly rely on. We need to change what we track. Stop rewarding the bulldozing. Instead, try rewarding the search. Tell them, I want to see if you can attempt 5 passes into a gap that only you saw, or something like it. Reward the scanning frequency or the deception. Did they look one way and pass the other? By valuing intelligence over impact, you are incentivizing them to build technical skills they'll need when they're not the biggest kid anymore. This should obviously be discussed with the coach as well. If you're both focusing on the same thing, rather than talking about opposite aims, it will be far more impactful and more effective. Many big kids are used as pawns by coaches, put in the center of the defense or as a big target striker just to win headers and long balls. This professionalizes them, in my opinion, too early and narrows their skill set. Give them their autonomy back. In your backyard or driveway, let them choose a role they're bad at. If they are a thumping centre back, have them play as a creative winger in your home practices. Ask them, how would a small player solve this problem? Let them explore through the lens of a different position. This kind of practice can help them see different solutions that they themselves have never even thought of. From a clinical perspective, being big comes with a cost. Larger frames during a growth spurt have massive amounts of torque going through the joints. Long limbs are essentially long levers pulling on growing tendons and where they attach to the bones. These kids are at risk of knee pain or heel pain because their muscles are getting stronger faster than their attachment points can handle. As the parent, you should be mindful of their capacity. Big kids often look like adults, so we treat them like ones, giving them more games, more minutes, but their nervous system is still remodeling. Ensure they have free time in their schedule. If they are growing 2 centimeters or nearly an inch in a month, they need more sleep and more recovery than the smaller kid who is biologically more stable at this time. Show your kid that being big isn't an excuse to be a bulldozer. Use technical giants as their mental models. Don't just shove them clips of Erling Haaland outrunning people. Show them how he also uses scanning to find the space before the sprint starts. Incidentally, Haaland is one of the players that the football doctor, Carl Marius Axum, who has a PhD in visual scanning in football, puts forward as a prime example of how frequent and expertly timed scanning really is beneficial. Show them Virgil van Dijk and Wendy Renard, not for their strength, but for how they position their bodies, so they almost never have to tackle. See how Paul Pogba and Zinedine Zidane put on a masterclass of technical skills while also being able to dominate nearly everyone else physically as well. Or show them how Jude Bellingham uses his physical strength and his skills to make defenders look foolish. Ask your child, how did the player use his or her brain to make that look easy? When they see that the best giants in the world are actually master chefs, ridiculously skillful players who happen to have a big body, they might start to value skill over just size. If your kid is the dominant one right now, don't let that physicality be a crutch. Take away the easy button in the backyard so they're forced to develop the skills that will keep them in the game for the next decade. I'd love to hear if you have some thoughts about these strategies or if you've done something else entirely. Let me know in the comments below. Building a skillful player is about designing the right environment. If you want to move from guesswork to building a personalized strategy for your child, check out the links in the description. If you're interested in watching another video on the topic of youth football and how parents can support our kids, check out this video right here. Thanks for watching. See you next time.